As we continue, let's talk to Captain Gabe Dominguez. He's a Houston firefighter. Elizabeth, let's tell people about Captain Gabe before we get to talk to him.
Well, I can tell you this about Captain Gabe Dominguez. Not only is he a Houston firefighter, but he spends his extra time, if you have extra time.
He's busy too, right?
He's very, very busy, as we discussed before. But in addition to being a firefighter and having a family, he dedicates time to the Texas Firefighters Home that we have him here today to learn all about. And that in itself is a huge undertaking. Yeah.
On that note, Captain, let's tell people about, first of all, your service with the firefighters.
Thank you.
You're also a firefighter right now. You're still fighting fires here in Houston.
Yes, Bill. I've served on the job for 21 years. I'm at Station 50, and I'm on the A shift, which is the alpha shift.
I like alpha shift.
Now, is that when you say alpha, does that mean it's a certain time of the day, or you're the
No, we have four
front
shifts.
line?
We have 4 shifts here in Houston. Yes, I am on the front line, but we have 4 shifts, A, B, C, and D, and that's how they differentiate the shifts by letters.
Interesting.
Well, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about the Texas Firefighters Home and bring us up to speed a little bit on it, or our listeners for sure.
Okay. The Texas Firefighter Home started in 2013. It started with Omer Ponce, that was also a firefighter here in Houston. He was a Rotarian. He reached out, and they started off with 2 rooms there at the Jesse Jones, right across from MD Anderson. And they had a vision to build a home that would house firefighters and their immediate families. So their vision was to start out with 40 apartment units. We're currently not there yet, but we started growing. So we went to Marnell Living Apartments, where we've been able to secure 5 apartments, and we're always using out their guest apartments. So we're at 6 apartments currently.
That's big. That's big. Well, and the thing about this, which I recently learned from reading, is it's for all first responders. It's not just firefighters, correct? It's other first responders and their families if you qualify and have a need that they serve.
Yes, it's for all first responders and their immediate family that qualify through the application process on our website at texasfirefightershome.org.
It's quite a website, Bill. I know you've had a minute to take a look at it also, but it's got lots of information and lots of goals, things you're trying to accomplish, different ways you can give, ways you can volunteer, how to help out. So it's a good spot to go learn all that stuff.
Absolutely. We're always looking for ambassadors to meet our firefighters and first responders when they come in with their families so they feel comfortable. You know, we had a family that recently was here in Tulsa. They came from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He was a firefighter there. And before he came to Houston, he was actually in St. Louis. He went there for treatment first. And he said, big difference. Just how the community supports him, and as well as the Houston firefighters supporting him and his family while he was getting treatment, made him feel that he was back in Tulsa. So we did that as well. He had a big need. He needed a blood transfusion. MD Anderson was running low in blood donations. So Houston came big. We were able to fill up all the appointments for blood donations at MD Anderson for 3 weeks.
That's incredible. I mean, that's really incredible.
Yep, and we did that. We, here as a community, we all stepped up, and we did it for our firefighter brother, Harrison, that's out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He just got to go home the other day, and his family said to say a big thank you to Houston for supporting him.
Well, who are the people that will be in the home? Now, are these people that have had injuries or?
So the determination is the firefighter qualifies, one, by being a firefighter, or it can be his immediate family member. What we're seeing here coming down here for Houston, it's because we have MD Anderson in our backyard. And these firefighters that are being exposed to these carcinogens, and then they're coming down with rapid cancer diagnosis compared to the general population. You know, they're saying a 1 in 5 1 out of 5 firefighters will come down with a cancer diagnosis.
Wow.
So we're out of all the first responder brothers and sisters that we see from police, fire, and military, we're seeing predominantly firefighters that are coming down here for cancer treatment. But you can also qualify just for an illness or an injury. It doesn't have to be cancer. That's just what we see predominantly here a lot in Houston, and that's what the home is getting filled with pretty much every day because cancer fight is a long-term fight, unfortunately. It's not a short-term. So the TexasFirefighterHomes.org provides short-term housing there with those 6 apartments.
So bottom line, it's for those firefighters that need help.
Right. Most of the firefighters that are coming down here are from all over the U.S. I mean, we've had firefighters from Florida, Denver, California, El Paso, but most of them are Louisiana. Nobody comes from Houston because they live so close. We're very fortunate that we have the largest med center
Medical.
here, and where other firefighters do not have that large medical center, and they don't have a cancer center as well, like we're fortunate to have. So we saw the need, and we decided to fill that need because we see the faces of these firefighters struggling when they sounded the alarm, for the help. The first thing is they're reaching out to us at our firefighters union hall that I also work at, and we get the phone call there that comes in, and they're asking where's housing, and they already have enough stress with the cancer diagnosis. And we as firefighters, just like we take an oath to serve the citizens here in Houston, we also have our own oath where we want to serve each other and take care of each other. And the biggest thing we could figure out what to do was being able to remove the stress of housing. And we did that through the Texas Firefighter Home organization.
I think when people think generally, and I don't speak for all people, every now and then I might try to, but when people think about firefighters, we think of maybe the obvious dangers, getting burned, something falling on an individual when they're going in to fight a fire, and injuries of that nature. I had no idea, and I'm glad that you're here today to tell us that cancer, you're saying 1 in 5 firefighters, from the things that are burning, that cancer becomes more prominent for the firefighter, or the things that you're using to fight the fire, or both?
It's a couple of contributing factors, right? There's been the foam, and then of course,
like foam insulation.
The foam that
the foam you use to fight the fire. Okay.
Yes, the foam we used to use to fight fires. The other contributing factors is everybody stores different things in their home. Everyone stores different chemicals in their home, which they off gas and give different chemicals, which then that firefighter's immune system can activate some cancer cells automatically. So even though we go in there with an SCBA, it sticks to our equipment, to our gear, so that we're taking that back with us to our firehouse, even though we try to do the best job we can to decontaminate it. But when it's at off gases, it goes airborne, and it can still permeate through the gear, even though we have some of the best gear that's available to us, but it can still penetrate through there.
Okay, as you described that, Captain Gabe, I'm just visually thinking about my own home, and hope it never catches on fire, but if it did, there are aerosols with pest repellent, furniture polish maybe. Actually, I don't think I have furniture polish, but I could. Shoe polish, all those things that are in paint cans. Mm-hmm. So when they heat up and are part of a home fire or a business fire, there's no telling what kind of stuff's coming off of there.
Very destructive. It's very destructive. So, Gabe, what's your biggest need for the firefighter's home? Where is the reach to people listening? What they can do in any way? Where are you in that journey?
The biggest need is housing. We'd like to grow. We'd like to get our short-term goal is to get to 10 apartments. Mm-hmm. We're currently at 5, but like I said, the 6th one we try to rent out the guests because we're turning down firefighters. Because the need's big, and like I said, 1 in 5 will have a cancer diagnosis. So we have multiple needs. We're always taking volunteers. You can apply through our website, as well as furnishings, and you can also do monetary donations on our website at texasfirefighters.org. We do have a big need to grow because we don't like turning anyone down.
That must feel terrible.
And we don't like saying no. So what the other thing that the Texas Firefighters Home's done is that if we cannot we're not allowed to get housing at that time because it's filled, then we look at supplementing them through if they have to get a hotel, we pay a percentage of their hotel to give them assistance that way. We don't want to tell anybody no, turn them down.
Well, and you take children of first responders, so you've got some babies in there and that are coming to town for treatments, and that in itself deepens the need from just that person to extending through their families.
Yes, we do. We take firefighters and their immediate families, children, spouses, and we also take retired firefighters.
Oh, that's great.
So it is a big need. The rooms stay pretty full. I mean, currently right now, all 5 apartments are full.
So someone listening that may be in a position to donate, maybe they're owners of apartments or other type of living spaces, those people can reach out to you if they have that and say, hey, we have 5 rooms or 5 apartments. They could do that as well. And then the furniture you mentioned would be the furniture to be put in the living spaces, right?
Yes.
The website again is
TexasFireFightersHome.org.
And they can find out all the information right there.
All the information's right there.
Well, and if the good thing about what you're saying too, I hear that there's the need. You obviously have to turn people down. That's heartbreaking. But once they get into the apartment, they can be there 3 days to 3 months. And in the event that they are really needing extensions, then they can ask or apply for that. And in some cases, you're able to help them out.
Yes, absolutely. So we allow firefighters or immediate family members to stay up to 90 days. That's the stay. At the only cost that's taken on by the families is the cleaning fee, which is $130, and we use a professional cleaning company to come and sanitize, since we're dealing with a lot of firefighters and their family that their immune system's not the best. So we make sure that this company comes in and sanitize each apartment before the next firefighter or immediate family comes in.
Well, I'm always creeping around on the websites, and so I was going through and reading the process, the application process, and what you all do, doing your due diligence in clearing people that are coming through. And so you know that once somebody gets into the apartment, they really have a need, and you want to help them out. You just want to help them out.
We do. We try to do our best. We're trying to get these firefighters in there, and like you spoke earlier, Elizabeth, we don't want to tell anybody no. Mm-hmm. We also try real hard to raise money as well for the organization. We're currently we're looking at doing a gala September 30th.
Yep. So September 30th, Post Oak.
And that's
Hilton.
The one the famous one that you have been
the famous one.
a
If
part
you
of
get
for years.
Your tickets, let's see, go on the website and look, because it's open to everyone. They have, obviously a great event, a lot of information shared. But you could, tables for 10 start at about $1,500. I mean, that's a pretty nice price ticket here in Houston, Texas for fundraisers at $150. But they could really use donors that go way beyond that amount to help them reach these goals, to add apartments and to get furniture. And I know you've had some donations in the past for mattresses and these types of things. So always a good shout out to those that have helped with that. And just there's lots.
Absolutely. We're always looking at growing. So any furnishings that we can get. We just got the good news that Texas Mattress Makers just gave us 10 mattresses.
That's awesome.
So that's great news, because we're going to go and replace all the mattresses in these apartments.
So this is Yuval?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you know what? He is a friend of the firefighters. Don't know if he's listening to the radio, but just want to say you've been a great friend of the firefighters, and I know how much you appreciate it. Yeah.
We're talking with Captain Gabe Dominguez, the Houston firefighters. And first of all, anybody listening that is a firefighter, that's a military, is serving in the military or police department. We want to let you know we appreciate you in a big, big way, whether you're right here in Houston or far beyond listening on the internet or whatever, but we most appreciate it right here. But, Captain, give us an idea. You're a firefighter, and this is the kind of profession that it's a calling in a way. Give us an idea. You're a firefighter for how many decades now?
I've been doing it for 21 years.
In Houston.
In Houston.
So, right away, give us an idea of as we talk about firefighters and helping, but a day in the life right here. Every day's different. You get different calls, all that. But give us people an idea of what it is for a firefighter right here in Houston, Texas. And, oh, yeah, it's hot and humid, I'm just saying. What's it like?
It's awesome. It's hard to put words to it, but it's for me, it's one of the greatest, you know. And I have my family life, and then I have my fire life. So it's a great thing. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to serve the citizens of Houston. Like, this is the fourth largest city in the country, and to me, it's never been a job, you know, because I enjoy
That's
it so
amazing.
much. Very passionate about the job. It's going to be very hard to me when it comes to close that chapter. And recently, my son, that's a senior in high school, is looking at even following my footsteps. So
What's his name? He
Congratulations.
might be listening.
Roman Dominguez.
Okay, Roman.
So,
Thank you, Roman.
but the job is great. You know, we report to duty at 06:30 in the morning. We stay on shift for 24 hours. Here in Houston, we do fire and EMS. So we do a rotation. Some days we're on the EMS unit. Some days we're on the fire engine. We respond to 1,400 incidents a day.
1,400 per day.
Anywhere from 1,200 to 1,400.
So when something happens, someone presses 911, right? And then somewhere, how do you all get the call? And there's many firehouses around the city. How does that work?
So there's 94 firehouses throughout the city. Someone calls 911, it goes through our dispatching center, which is OEC, and then it patches it through the firehouse that's in that area. And depending what the emergency is, if it's fire or it's medical, we respond to both. So sometimes you'll get a fire engine there with your medical calls, because to us, we treat every emergency serious for us. So if it's cardiac or if it's your house on fire, time is of importance for us.
Seconds count.
Seconds count, because survivability, if it's a heart attack or a stroke or your house is on fire and we can get there quicker and safe, we can prevent the damage from getting so big, as well as when you come down with a heart attack or stroke. If we can get there, our survivable rate is a lot higher for the average citizen if we're there within 10 minutes. So for us, is about getting there safely. And as soon as we get that dispatch, we try to move quickly throughout the firehouse and then drive safely to the incident. But we want to be at your front step real quick.
So from the time you get 911, you get the call at your firehouse near let's say it's a person's house. So you get that call, how many seconds till the siren goes on and you're on the way? It's because you think of it in terms of seconds, I'm guessing, right?
Yes. The dispatching comes through when it first hits the station. It hits our MBT screens. Yep, we look up and we're moving.
It makes big noise.
Sure.
Big noise.
Get out of the way. They're on the way to something important to help
Yes.
people.
We're moving. Yeah.
As far as fires go, if there's a statistic even, when it is a call for a fire, about, that varies, I'm sure, how many fires are home fires, home and or apartments, and how many are business type fires? Or do you, I guess you know when you get the call.
Yeah, so Houston's so diverse. There's so many different types of commercial, high rise, and now we're even
high rise. I didn't even think of that.
We're getting our townhomes that you start and see. I mean, it's real diverse when it comes to different structures here in Houston. And since we have no zoning, you can find these structures anywhere. You can have a commercial right in your residential, right outside your residential house. So fires change. You can have them on every part of the areas, north side, south side, as well as west side and east side. So apartments are everywhere, so is commercial. And then we have high rises. So here in Houston, we
Yeah,
have
that gives me kind of the ooh.
a couple of skylines throughout the city.
Ooh.
You know,
Some of the high rises have many, many floors,
yes.
ladders.
No ladders.
Well,
No ladders.
How do you get there?
It depends on the situation. You know, if it's, it depends what floor it is, and if we're able to take the elevator, if it's safe enough to take the elevator, we'll take the elevator. If not, we're climbing the stairs. We're coming to you through the stairwell.
I guess it's different, but at your firehouse, again, it's fire number 50?
50.
All right. So, and that's in a populated area of Houston. So at that particular station, about how many firefighters are there at any given time?
There's 7 of us housed there
All
at
the
Station
time.
50 all the time.
Now, does it
24/7.
matter? Do are the incidents reports vary by whether it's a weekend or a weekday, or every day anything can happen?
Any day, anything
Doesn't
can
matter.
happen.
You've been to my
Fires
house.
don't sleep.
Yeah, we don't. It's a busy system here in Houston, and we have emergencies every single day.
And you've been to my house 3 times over the past 10 years
For fires?
for fire. First time
Oh
the
my goodness.
entire house
Oh,
inside filled up with smoke. There were literally no flames to speak of.
But the
We were
smoke.
out of the country. The alarm is
no.
going off. And eventually someone across the street saw a little ember in a mattress. Well, this speaks to what you were talking about, the carcinogens on your clothes. The home filled with smoke. Nothing burned. We had to gut the house, all the wires, the insulation, everything, because
did
it was
not know.
all poisoned with the smoke.
How
And
long
it's
ago
so hot.
was this?
It's been 10 years. But you were at my house 3 years ago when we were putting in drainage and they hit the gas line and the whole neighborhood practically was being evacuated, and all these people in hazmat suits were coming. I mean,
Oh, my goodness.
so a different call. And then you showed up when my mother was thinking she was sick in the middle of the night. So
You're at the ready, Captain.
yeah, I mean, they were ready for
I
all of
bet
it.
he's going to write a book someday, or he could, of all the things you've seen in 20-some years.
Yeah.
Yes, it never stops here in Houston, but Houston firefighters is always serving through courage, commitment, and compassion. That's our motto here.
It's great.
So we serve 24/7.
Well, we can't have a firefighter on the show without help. Let's tell people, whether they're in a home, an apartment, their business, what are some of the things, maybe they're obvious, what should we do to prevent fires in our homes that you see where a fire breaks out, other than if someone's smoking and they fall asleep? Yeah, the cigarette can fall or whatever, but what should we do as a normal person to protect our homes?
We're
What do you do at your house?
At my house, we have a fire extinguisher there. We have smoke alarms in every bedroom. And that'd be a good practice for everyone to practice at their home or business. Either they get a fire security alarm that's monitored 24/7, or if they can't, because of the price on some of them, at least put the battery-operated smoke alarms. Because of the smoke alarms is a great thing to have. It catches fires in the incipient stage. So,
And what do you call that stage? The incipient
The
stage.
incipient.
That
Yeah, I
means
don't
when
know.
it's
When it's-
getting ready to start.
when it's getting
brewing
ready to
or-
start, like a phase 1, it's just brewing, and that's the stage everybody wants to catch it at, because it prevents damage at that stage. You have very
Right.
little fire that gets going, so that'd be the best stage for us to capture it. So
So that would be a good stage if you did have the fire extinguisher. Instead of not doing anything, hit the fire extinguisher in the early stage and then call the fire department if you need to. And by the way, Father's Day is coming up. I bought my son and his family a couple fire extinguishers for Christmas, Captain.
Yeah.
Did I do okay?
Good for
But
you.
I'm saying that's a good Father's Day gift. It's coming up.
It's a great.
it's
If you
a
don't
great
have
gift.
If you don't have the extinguishers, it's so important. How long do the extinguishers last? Because I got 3 at my house, by the way.
They're all dated differently. Like, you can have them inspected if you buy it from a private company, or you can get them from Home Depot or Lowe's. But they're all dated.
There's a date on there
There's
somewhere.
a date on them.
just like on my eggs. That
But don't try to fight this fire on your own. Do
Call
call
911.
911 because we always have to go and investigate and check for any fire extension that gets through the walls and maybe into the attic. So don't try to take this on by yourself. If it's in the tipping stage and you put the extinguisher on it, still remember to call 911 to get us there to investigate it.
So also we want to remind people about Texas Firefighter Home as well. Circling back to that, that's very important because we know here in Houston people like to help, and they can go to Texas Firefighter or Firefighters Home.
TexasFirefighterHome.org.
Fighterhome.org. It's right there, all the ways that you can help. Give us an idea, Captain. What else should we know before we close this segment? You're doing good work. Thank you so much. And I am going to speak for all the Houstonians. Yes. Everybody in the United States, in fact. Thank you for your help and any other firefighter, because we know sometimes they listen to this show.
No, yeah, we know they do.
They're driving around,
heard.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
we appreciate them.
You're welcome, and thank you to everyone here in Houston. They're always big supporters of the Houston Fire Department. Thank you.
Well, the need is great, as we've heard, and so whether it's coming to the event this coming September, or going on the website and donating, or just as he was just talking about the mattresses, don't think that any little piece that you can do is too little, because there's so much.
Someone wants to donate a sofa.
There you go.
That's okay, Captain?
Yes, they can go through the website, and we'll arrange for one of our volunteers to go and pick the sofa up. So there's multiple things. It's just think about it like your house that you're trying to prepare of one of the rooms, sofas,
Gently used, of course.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just skipping around here, but I'm just now thinking also the fire trucks are there when there's cars on fire, right?
Yes.
I mean, I've seen some on the Katy Freeway, which I frequent. I have seen some things there.
What a mess that
They're all
what a mess.
Our highways are busy as can be, but that's a whole different kind of fire, isn't it, when a car gets a flame?
Yes, when a car gets engulfed with flames, it's a different type of fire than a structure fire. And now we have the new
electrical cars.
Electrical
that's a different kind of fire.
That's a whole different types of fire that takes lots of water, copious amounts of water just to put out that fire, even though it's a small vehicle, but it has so many batteries under the undercarriage. So that creates a lot of fuel and flame. So, yes.
Now, I would think a car with gasoline would be more prone to a fire than you're saying a pure electric car.
No, those electric cars have those ion batteries, and there's hundreds of them underneath the undercarriage, and they get hot and they ignite. It creates a whole different hazard.
So what do you spray on it, water, or you have a chemical?
Water, copious amounts of water.
Now, I have one of my cars is a hybrid, so I have gas. It's probably on fire right now. I don't know what's going on. I have gas and batteries. Holy smokes. No pun. Slightly intended.
Geez, okay. Just kidding.
Anyway.
Just kidding.
Well, be careful out there, everybody.
Everybody, be careful.
Just like they say with personal safety, have your head on a swivel. I'm going to add have your head on a swivel to prevent fires in your home. Yes. Just be careful, right, Captain?
Absolutely. Stay safe and then hydrate, because we also do fire and EMS. We don't want people getting out there having a heat stroke. So
that's coming up too. Here we got the hotter weather, hurricane season.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
That's
Once again, we're glad you're on the job.
They're on the job in boats, in trucks, in
that's right.
Off-road, high water vehicles. There's so much.
Our hurricane season started June 1st, so we're in it.
Well, wish we had more time. So many questions to ask. However, we're hoping we're helping people here today, Elizabeth. You did another exceptional job of bringing people and organizations that we can help as Houstonians, and wherever you're listening. Hey, if you're listening outside, you might be in Kansas or Oklahoma. It doesn't matter. You can help people, and certainly TexasFirefighterHome.org you can reach. And we thank you so much, Captain Gabe
Dominguez,
for your service and your
do.
complete team all over Houston.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome, Bill. Thank you for hosting me.
Super awesome. Elizabeth, can't wait to see what happens next month. And Elizabeth, you're doing tremendous work with the firefighters and everyone else. Elizabeth Stein, thank you so much. And thank you all for listening to Successful Living with Elizabeth and Bill and Captain Gabe. and Kathy and Kathleen. We will see you next week. And also,
Thank
you
you,
can
listeners.
see this show by going to radiobill.net. I'll have the YouTube video right there. You can see everybody. Again, that's radiobill.net. Be careful out there. Buy some fire extinguishers. Don't smoke. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you.